Ever wonder what happens when ambitious sci-fi visions crash and burn? The 1990s were a golden age for anime brimming with groundbreaking series like Sando. Uh, these titles didn't just define a genre, they reshaped it. Uh, but for every shining star, uh, there's a constellation of lesser known and frankly forgettable titles. Let's dive into the dark side of the 90s sci-fi anime scene, exploring the shows that tried to reach for the stars and landed with a thud. Um, it's easy to celebrate the successes, but what about the failures? A bad anime isn't just poorly animated. It's a combination of weak plots, uninspired characters, and sometimes just plain baffling choices. These aren't just flaws, they're craters in the landscape of uh, sci fi anime. Um, we're not here to simply criticize, but to explore what went wrong and why these series faded into obscurity. In 1990, arrived as a two-volume OVA. It followed five female space pirates piloting a technologically superior starship, uh, each woman representing a month of the year. Um, Sounds intriguing, right? Uh, Unfortunately, the execution fell flat. The plot was riddled with loopholes, and despite the ship's power, the crew often relied on sheer luck. While the characters were fun, they lacked depth and chemistry, leaving the story feeling hollow. 1991 brought us, based on a novel and promising a thrilling tale of a surgeon uncovering a demonic invasion. However, the film delivered little more than boredom and poor animation, unnecessary sex scenes, and extreme violence, completely unrelated to the plot, uh, only added to the disappointment. Uh, it felt like a missed opportunity, a potentially great story lost in a haze of questionable choices. A 1992 OVA attempted to blend mecha action with a mystery surrounding a missing friend, who the plot involved a test vehicle. They could teleport its driver to an alternate dimension inhabited by biomechanical monsters. Well, the premise was interesting. The series suffered from a weak storyline, incomprehensible at times, even with subtitles. It was packed with cliches and uh, gratuitous, irritating scenes of underdressed female characters. 1993 saw the release of an OVA based on uh, a classic manga, uh, uh, while adapting beloved source material can be tricky. Uh, this series strayed too far from the original, adopting a darker, more demonic aesthetic. The story was dragged out unnecessarily, with every episode introducing new complications, making it a frustrating watch for fans of the manga. In 1995, arrived as a 1 hour OVA, promising a thrilling sci-fi horror experience. So the story followed two agents investigating viruses that transform people into grotesque creatures. And however, the series was plagued by a lack of backstory. focusing instead on gratuitous nudity and sexual violence against women, adding nothing to the plot. It was a missed opportunity to create a compelling narrative. 1996 brought us a 3-episode OVA created by the mind behind Sakura Wars. The story involved a young man summoned to a fantasy world to lead a revolution. However, the series suffered from inconsistent pacing, introducing and dismissing characters at random, and a bizarre plot involving a character existing simultaneously in 2 worlds. It was a confusing and ultimately unsatisfying experience. 1997's a 12-episode series attempted to create a thrilling sci-fi action experience. The story followed a mercenary organization fighting viruses in a futuristic city, and however, the series suffered from a weak storyline, stiff animation, and a lack of character development, leaving viewers feeling disconnected and unengaged. 1998's a 3-episode OVA presented a unique premise: a naval academy training women to use special powers tied to their virginity. However, the series quickly descended into absurdity, glorifying female chastity and relying on tired cliches. The pacing was rushed, and the male characters were self-centered and unlikable. Finally, in 1999, we have an original anime attempting to create a thrilling sci-fi action experience. However, the series suffered from mismatched sound effects, gratuitous nudity, and a weak storyline. And it was a disappointing end to a decade filled with both brilliance and failure. And on that note, let's remember that even in a decade as rich as the 90s, not every anime could be a masterpiece. Sometimes the failures are just as interesting as the successes, offering valuable lessons about storytelling, animation, and the importance of a good plot. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,